Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've covered this week's Marvel books as well as selection from Image Comics, and now it's time to cover this week's DC titles. Starting with Batman Incorporated, number 8. Where we left off, Joker Incorporated has made its first two strikes against one against the Batman of China, or rather the doctor he's protecting. Two against Man of Bats. Though they were unable to get those because Man of Bat's son has actually been recruited into Batman Incorporated on an active basis. Well, Joker Incorporated wasn't able to get a 2-for-1 deal. We begin in Shanghai with El Gaucho and Ghostmaker interrogating Batman of China, who is pretty much ready to give up his being Batman of China after his failure. But he explains also that Alpaca, basically his Joker, is also his sister. In London, Knight and looks like Grey Wolf are enjoying a meal in a Chechen restaurant that just opened in London. It seems Grey Wolf is looking into leaving Batman Incorporated to the international team, at least. Mainly to return home and look after his own people. But Knight gets a text of a situation that requires her attention. And elsewhere, Man of Bats has survived his assault, but is unconscious. His son is standing over his hospital bed alongside Batman of Japan as well as Comet Hunter. But he asks that when the two of them find Dusty Bronco, the person who shot Man of Bats, call him first. In Paris, Night Runner comes upon Charles de Gaulle and his Cercle de la Mort. Turns out that de Gaulle has kidnapped a handful of tourists and looks to put on something of a show at the Arc de Triomphe. In Melbourne, a couple of the suspended members get Night Runner's call and opt to help out. However, the situation is brewing locally. In London, Knight and Grey Wolf arrive at Basement 101, which appears to basically be London's answer to Arkham Asylum, or Belle Reve, or you get the idea. But the hero known as Beefeater was off with his potential replacement taking his guard shift, his nephew. However, it appears that the Joker has gotten to him. But this marks the first time anyone was broken into Basement 101 and the first time anyone has managed to escape. The escapee being the Welsh madman Die Laughing. in Tokyo, Ghostmaker and El Gaucho are following leads from Batman in China, which has led them to Japan. And rather than coming upon a basically a Joker knockoff, well, they come upon the real deal, and he's heard about Batman Incorporated and said, hey, if Batman can dole out his can license out his likeness, why can't Joker? Except for all, what's Batman without a Joker? And so, spins the wheel to pick one of a handful of members to have basically put their plan in motion. And it ends on Tap Dance Man, the frequent foe of El Gaucho. And so Joker calls Tap Dance Man, and who apparently has a office full of hostages. And that is where the issue ends. I have to admit, I kind of like the idea of Joker Incorporated. Neat idea, especially with there being a Batman Incorporated. I would kind of agree with Joker's reasoning. What's Batman without a Joker? But even then, it's like, I mean, while Joker may be the most iconic Bat villain, there's also quite a few others that are at least almost as iconic, and some that might not be iconic, but are at least as important a part of Batman's mythos. So, moving on though to our next book, we've got Stargirl: The Lost Children, number 6. Where we left off, it seemed that the mastermind behind Childminder's holding of the missing sidekicks was none other than Our Man from the 853rd century. Former JSA member, Our Man, I might add. So we get some backstory on Our Man 3, and how he sacrificed himself to save Rex and Rick Tyler. But Childminder tries to make Stargirl forget everything, takes a blast to the face, which destroys her mask, revealing her her age-ravaged body. But Our Man is able to age up Stargirl to approximately the same age, though Corky Baxter shows up and saves Stargirl, as it didn't have time to set. Stargirl returns to her to being a teenager. But all the sidekicks have arrived, working together. And they go after. They take on Childminder and her egg drones, and Stargirl tries to reach him with Our Man. Though it turns out that Our Man has been reprogrammed. We learn that the mastermind behind this is none other than Corky Baxter, Time Master, all grown up. Having sent his younger self into the past to keep everyone present. But Our Man's brain gets rewired, namely a piece of circuitry that doesn't match the rest is pulled out. And this malevolent future version of Corky Baxter is sent back in the time stream. However, Wing has to go back to the path. Has to go back to where he was removed from the timeline. He has to stop Nebula Man, sacrificing his life to do so. So, Stargirl brings all of the returned sidekicks back to the present, and Emiko's reunited with her brother. The Seven Soldiers of Victory get back together and honor Wing at his grave. And it seems Stargirl starting up a new team, the Young Justice Society. At the lab of the Time Masters, Corky is not exactly happy about things, but Rip tries to give him a pep talk, explaining that that the version that he saw now won't exist. But he's reminded also that as a Time Master, you can't form friendships or have a family. But Corky is stated by Rip Hunter to be a junior Time Master. And that is where the series ends. I guess this was actually a really fun series, and it looks like, according to the last page, the Young Justice Society will be returning in JSA number 6, whenever that comes out. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Wildcats number 7. Where we left off, Grifter attempted to kill the Void, and seemed to have succeeded in doing so. Shot her in the head. But then, something happened. There was a massive explosion in the upper floors of the Halo building. So Grifter ends up in a town called Salvation. Up against Jonah Hex. At the Halo building, they're going through the damage. Lady Tron is found going through it by Mother One, Maul, and one of the other non-costumed employees. Then he ends up on another Earth, this time in almost Los Angeles. Grifter, that is. Where he gets kidnapped. And seriously, who kidnaps people anymore? Speaking of who kidnaps people anymore, apparently, Lady Tron, who sticks Voodoo with a tranquilizer to bring her to the rest of the Wildcats. Back with Grifter, he's brought before his the boss of his kidnappers, Hellspawn. Though this is a Grifter who doesn't know who Hellspawn is. He's never faced Hellspawn before. But the rest of the Wildcats reveal the fact that they're still alive to Voodoo. And explaining that since with her powers, there are things that she can see that they can't. Like whether or not Void's actually dead, or Grifter's actually dead. But it seems that Grifter was teleported away, so the question becomes where? To where? He's apparently jumping from Earth to Earth. We see him teaming up with the Seven Soldiers of Victory. We also see him It would seem apparently that the Grifter we saw in DC versus Vampires was the Zero Grifter, just kind of shuffling through time. He ends up on a rather what appeared I would say is possibly Commandy's world, or Commandy's Earth. Ends up in another post-apocalyptic world. Comes upon Spartan, who attacks him, and Cole attacks back, and is saved by a rather unlikely group: Maul, Midnighter, and Damian Wayne. Though he's not the only one. No, that's not all. There are a few others who I'm not entirely sure of. And Grifter. Only it's not Cole. It's Max. Voodoo explains that there's no way she can accurately find where Grifter is, and basically leaves the rest of the team and tells them not to call on her again. And in the remnants of Batcave, Midnighter as well as the Cash Brothers are having dinner and going over a plan. Apparently, they have a plan. They have a missing teammate. In fact, they found out where the missing teammate is, and perhaps Grifter can help save her, and in doing so, also save the human race. Who is that missing teammate? The Void. And that is where the issue ends. I love this book. I do, and I love that little nod to DC versus Vampires, and basically saying, yeah, that was the Earth Zero Grifter in there, not that Earth's Grifter. I think he survived. I'm pretty sure clearly he survived. So, moving on though to our next book, we've got Multiversity: Harley Screwed Up the DCU, number 3. Where we left off, Harley got access to a time machine. What could possibly go wrong? Certainly not the dawn of the Age of Heroes never happening. No, that's totally not a thing that could happen. Oh wait, that's exactly what happened. So we open on Krypton. Planet's about to blow up. Jor-El and Lana about to place baby Kal-El into a rocket when the time machine lands on it. And Harley slips and ends up falling into the ship and being shot off into space as Krypton blows up. Landing in Kansas. And spending about a month with the Kents before they were just like, nope, we're done. So, Harley go back and make sure that Kal-El is sent to Earth. At Starro Labs, the Starro Suicide Squad is brought together, consisting of Catwoman, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Captain Boomerang, Killer Croc, and it seems like Red Tool. But yeah, they're going after Harley. Next, gotta make sure the Flash becomes the Flash. Well, Harley screws that one up royally, so her and Harley have to go back and make sure it actually does happen. Though it seems that our other Harley is in contact with an unknown figure. And all seems to go according to plan, aside from one of the chemical jars that ends up splashing on, being splashed on Barry Allen, was a jar of monkey urine. Because, that's totally something you're going to find in a crime lab. That would probably explain why Gorilla Grodd hates the Flash so much. But the Stargirl Suicide Squad has, well, a time sphere, and, well, looks like they're going to use it to track down Harley and Harley. Wherever and whenever they go. And that is where the issue ends. This is honestly a fun book, and yeah, like I mean, it's very much what could go wrong. What could go wrong with Harley Quinn having a time machine, aside from, literally everything. Moving on, though, to our last book of the week, we've got Danger Street, number 6. Where we left off, things were beginning to come together. Lady Cop had encountered Warlord. The Dingbats had seemingly managed to get Starman after Starman had fought Orion to allow Warlord to exhume the recently deceased Dingbat good looks. Also, the members of Green Team were being wiped out till there was just one. At the moment, there are 2. So we open. Lady Cop is sitting by Warlord's hospital bed, which he's handcuffed to, waiting for him to wake up. At an expensive hotel, Mark Shaw, the Manhunter, shows up, looking for the next member of Green Team on his list. And very nearly prevents his own assassination. But, well, now he's on the run. And, yeah, all of his resources are gone. Warlord wakes up, and Lady Cop asks him questions about what's going on, and he answers vaguely. Orion returns to New Genesis to beg forgiveness and ask for punishment from his fathers. Though Highfather states that there's still a chance he can save the universe. The Dingbats are trying to interrogate Starman, though he's unconscious after his fight with Orion. And while one of them is intent on killing Starman, well, he wants Starman to be awake to know who killed him and why he was killed. Our member of Green Team, like as I said, is finding his resources ripped away. And New Genesis and Apocalypse play their parts in what's to come. With Highfather having to deal with an unimaginable amount of pain. Lady Cop and her partner are trying to figure out just why it is Warlord had the exhumed body of good looks. At the GT building, Jack Ryder sees the on-the-run member of Green Team thrown out and begins to wonder what's going on. Starman comes to. Lady Cop, meanwhile, is looking at the helmet of fate, which she grabbed from Warlord, and notices a panel on the inside of it. The Green Team. Abdul goes to the only place he can think to go, someplace he's not entirely welcome, to beg for help, since he's now on the outs with the Green Team. Eventually gets it, though, from the Outsiders. Though it's not the Outsiders I would have expected. Seems more like the Doom Patrol without the Chief. But Jack Ryder has some questions for the Commodore about Abdul's recent ejection from the GT building. Well, it seems everyone is trying to figure out their next moves. And that is where the issue ends. It's an odd book, but it's at least odd in an interesting way. So it does seem like more and more of the pieces are beginning to come together, and more of the plots are starting to become clear, less unclear, I guess would be a better way of putting it. They're not exactly clear, but yeah, you're kind of beginning to see kind of how everything works together. So anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to the giveaway launch video, as well as my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal, can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.